Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Adam Kiss Show. Today, I have a very special guest, Christina Kiss, my wonderful mom. I'm so happy to have her on the show today. She's also the producer, and she was also an actress in and provided the soundtrack for our recent film, My Last Words. I really couldn't have done it without her. She was such an integral part of the whole process. This movie simply would not have been made without her. And so I'm so happy to have her on the show to talk to you today. We also have some great news that we're going to talk about. The fact that we were just selected for the Big Apple Film Festival in Manhattan. So we're going to have our world premiere for My Last Words there at a wonderful theater, Look Dine Cinemas on 57th Street in Manhattan. So that's going to be our world premiere. And I think I've been talking enough, so let me hand it
Yes, you
over.
always do. I can never get in a word. Oh my God. I'm like so proud of you, and I'm so proud of that world premiere in New York on December 10th. It's at 5:30, and hopefully a lot of the listeners can make it. I think it will be really great, and I'm really looking so forward to it. I mean, it has been a long time coming, and finally your work paid off. And all of your vision as well.
Absolutely. I mean, as you know, you were there from the very start of it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you
every
did
step of the way.
exactly, and you've done basically everything on this film. I mean, your dedication to it has been incredible. I mean, you were the producer, you know, you were a psychologist, et cetera. When something,
Oh yes, oh
you're
yes.
everybody's psychologist.
Oh
You
my
did the
God.
soundtrack.
All
Yeah,
of those 5:30 get up to Dunkin' Donuts and getting the box of Joe, to getting croissants and getting all like fresh good things for everybody, breakfast and oh my God, that was a lot. Or bringing some of the actresses home in the middle of the night while I allow you to go home and take a shower and memorize your lines for the next day. It was quite something. But I think my favorite part was really getting up very early in the morning. I had about 10 minutes to myself, to think what I have to do before I got all of those goodies and all of those pastries for everybody to enjoy.
absolutely. I mean, really, everyone in the film business or everyone outside of the film business, even, the main question that they always ask is, what is a producer? What does a producer do? So, as one of the producers, we are both producers of this film.
Yes.
So I'll ask you, as a fellow producer, what does a producer actually do? Maybe you can answer the that big question in the world.
You know what? Everybody just thinks the producers are the money bags, and it's really not true. They have all the responsibilities. They have to make sure that everybody gets there on time, all the scheduling, all the food, all that everybody is happy and that they show up and we have a really good atmosphere on the set as well. So believe me, it's not just the money part. It's a lot of different components. And I mean, we had a lot of notes, that's for sure, and not much sleep during that time, and a lot of PTSD afterwards, that's for sure. Waking up in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock and thinking that, oh my God, we are late, we forgot this, we forgot that. And then, of course, it calmed down, but it was a wonderful time. And every time I go by those locations where we filmed, my heart skips a beat. That was such a wonderful time, and I really miss it. All the rehearsals, everything. I miss everything about it. And hopefully not for long, because something else is in the works, but I'm not going to say anything about that. But I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that was just a teaser for a
Oh,
possible
yeah.
future project that's coming along.
Yeah,
But,
very much so.
clearly, we are bound by confidentiality not to reveal yet, but we can't wait to share all the updates about that as well.
Yes.
We just love creating. We love doing this. We love being producers. And yeah, I totally agree. And especially on a indie film like this was, a producer has way more hats than on a big studio level even. So, the roles are all meshed. Like you had so many hats, I had so many hats. I mean, we probably did the most in terms of we had the
I,
most
I
things to
think
do on
so.
this production,
But
split between people.
thank God that everybody actually showed up on time. And with that, we never had any issues. I mean, we had some other little issues, and thank God even the weather cooperated with us. During those 15 days of filming, I think we only had one rainy day. And that's like kind of very unusual in May because, in May, there's a lot of rain. So it was only one day. And that day, I think we wanted to film indoors anyway, so it did not give us any trouble. The other thing that got us a little bit into trouble, but then at the end it worked out, was the Canadian fire that cast an orange glow over New York City. But exactly the day that we started filming that scene, it just disappeared. That was the first day. So we had, I think, the film gods in our corner because that worked out.
God was smiling down
I
on
was
us.
the
Yeah.
most, yeah, I was the most nervous about the weather, to tell you the truth, because, with an indie film, it's not so much budget, to start it all over again, like in 2 weeks or the next day. And we are on a tight schedule as well. So that's what my biggest headache was. But thank God it turned out good.
It turned out fantastic. I mean, as you can see,
Yeah,
and
I know.
obviously it's going to have this world premiere at this festival, which is great. And yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you've said. I mean, it's really such an adventure, though, making a movie like this. And like I said, you were a part of it from the beginning to the end. I mean, you were the very first person to look over the script. You were
Yeah.
editing the script. You were also, so I should also let's talk about that. Absolutely. And let's also talk about the fact that you were acting in this film, in this feature film. And you were also playing the piano. I mean, for those who don't know, she's an absolutely world famous concert pianist. She's done the Liszt cycle, which is an ongoing project. She's the only one in the world to do it. She's an absolute expert in the works of Franz Liszt, has performed over 40 times at Carnegie Hall, went to Juilliard, the Franz Liszt Academy of Music. I mean, here I am. I could just go on
Thank you
like
so
this.
much. Well, you know what? What do you expect from a Hungarian? I mean, I think Liszt flows through my veins and my blood, and I feel very close to him. I remember I was 14 years old, and at that time there was a series held by Leonard Bernstein. It was a weekly series, or at least we got it every week on the Hungarian television. Maybe it was more often than that. And I remember one week Bernstein came out and he said, our pianist got sick and we have a stand-in, and that was André Watts. He was very young at that time, and he was playing the Liszt E-flat major concerto. And so he was 14 years old. And so I took a mental note on that. And that was obviously a lot before I was 14, because I mean, André Watts is a lot older than me. Unfortunately, he already passed away. So when I was 14 years old, I said that, you know what? I have to do that concerto while I'm still 14. And I did it. And then I remember meeting André Watts years later. And I think I was maybe 16, 17. And I said that, hey, I was also 14 years old when I did the Liszt E-flat major concerto. And he said, get out of here. And I said, yeah, it's really true. And then, he didn't believe me. And then we were at the Franz Liszt Academy, where he had actually a concert. And he got me out on the stage, and he said, just start it. And then I started. Of course, I didn't warm up. And if anybody knows what the Liszt E-flat major concerto is all about, in the beginning we have a couple of measures of orchestral introduction, and then after the piano comes in with tremendous octave bravura. And so I did it, and I didn't miss a note. And he said, I hate you. Because that's notorious that a lot of people have a problem, mostly when your hands are cold. And at a performance, a lot of people have problem and missing a couple of octaves. But so that's my story about Liszt. And
Now everyone knows, that we're both overachievers. Now everyone knows where I got it from.
yes, absolutely. That's for sure. I think you even went beyond me. So
Oh,
yeah,
no.
let's put it that way.
So then, on that subject, talk a little bit about the music for the film, because this film is very unique. One thing that differentiates it from so many other films is that the score is entirely piano, and it's entirely done by you. Now, some of it is just performed by you, and then some of it's composed by you. So if you could talk a little bit about both, that
Yes.
would be great.
Absolutely. So first of all, when Adam came to me and he said, you're going to be in the movie, I said, what? No. I can do the music. That's fine. But please just don't put me in the movie. But then, of course, I gave my back. So I'm actually in the movie. And I'm also playing live in the movie. Not just that, but I'm also playing his mother in the movie.
Absolutely. And sorry to interrupt, but I mean, just one thing is that when I was writing the script, I knew it had to be her. I mean, who better to play my mom than my mom? I mean, the way I see it, then it's no acting required for me and no acting required for her. I mean, obviously there is.
Both of them like so natural. I mean, it was like unbelievable. I mean,
And we were
the
filming.
whole
Let's see.
crew was filming it. It was like about 12, 13 people. I remember on the kitchen scene, and also when I was playing the same crew, of course, a couple of minutes later. But it was like so special. I even forgot that we are filming. It was just like us having a conversation, and it was like so wonderful. So basically, you came to me and you said, "Please, can you compose a couple of pieces for this movie?" At first, it was only one. And I started playing around, and I know that you wanted me to have a piece that is in a minor key, to be a little bit more, not just sad, but kind of reminiscent of well, you have to see the movie for that. But it's like a beautiful movie. And then I started playing a little bit, and I remember you coming down to the piano room, and then you were helping me a little bit. Okay, maybe this should be a little bit faster, that should be a little bit. And then I was playing all different kind of themes. And then finally, you were not so easy to approve the music. But then finally you did, and you said, "Oh my God, just play on that theme." And then that's what it is. But one of them is a little bit played more in the movie than the other. But I'm actually pretty proud of most of them. I mean, both of them, I mean. And I'm actually very proud.
Absolutely, and all the music in the film was either composed by you or by Franz Liszt.
Absolutely.
Only two composers. I felt that it just fit the movie very well. It fit the style. You'll have to wait and see to find out what I mean by that. But it's a very classical style movie.
Yes.
There's so many different twists and turns. You don't quite know what genre it is at first. A lot
I
of
know. And
surprises.
most of it are from my CDs. And again, some of it is me playing live here at our own home, actually. And the others are, the pieces that I composed. And I still get shivers, in my spine when I listen to that music, because then everything comes back to me, and all the good, all the bad. But as time goes by, I think the bad kind of goes away, and then we forget about that as usual, and all the good comes back, and all the excitement, and every morning getting up and thinking, "Oh my God, hopefully this is going to be a great day." And at night, I mean, all those 4 or 5 hours of sleep, it was, yeah, but it's a lot of adrenaline, I guess. So that's what it is. It kept us definitely on our toes.
Absolutely. So, I mean, two-part question. I mean, what was it like acting with your son in the movie? And also, what was it like being directed by your son, slash, what was it like seeing your son as a director in action on the film?
Oh my God. I mean, you made me so proud. It was unbelievable. Acting with you, it was also like kind of like a dream. This was actually, to tell you the truth, not really my very first acting. I remember maybe about 20 years ago, I took part of an event here in New Jersey at the Rutgers Summerfest, and somebody got sick, and they got me in. I was the substitute, and I had about a couple of days to learn certain pieces. They knew that I learned very fast, and I was playing Clara Schumann on stage, and the director said, "Why are you a pianist? I mean, you should be an actress, And I remember that, but of course, obviously, motherhood and everything kind of put a little temper on that. But when you asked me, I actually, at first I said no, but then I started thinking what a special bond it would be between us, this whole movie. And yeah, so it was very special. Again, I felt like we were just in the kitchen having a little talk. I didn't have to act, I just had to memorize those few lines, and I didn't have to act at all. So that was actually wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of surreal. I mean, that I wrote this script and like every word of it is mine. Um,
Every word is yours. That's
yeah,
exactly what I love about this indie movie. That every single word is yours,
yeah.
and that doesn't
We
happen too
didn't,
often. Of course,
and
not with the big budget movies. Of course, it doesn't. But that's so. When you see the movie, you know that 100% it's Adam.
absolutely. And we didn't even do really any improv at all. It's basically all in the script. Like,
No,
I'm
absolutely.
not really a person who's too much into improv. I also like rehearsals. Maybe that's
Yeah.
more of my live performance slash theater background. I actually like to rehearse. So
I
everything was
know.
everything was pre-planned. All of that. I mean, it was all I could see the movie in my head before it was made. And I think that the beautiful thing is so could you.
That's for sure. And again, sometimes I talk to you, and then I know that your mind is somewhere else. So then I know that you have another movie in your mind, and just don't bother me, you know. And then I leave you alone because I know that you are very much into this artistic frame, and it's a wonderful thing. I wish I would have that. I have it in
You
a different
do.
area with music. You know, I have a lot of creativity, but not so much with what you are doing, that's for sure. So, and it came out of nowhere. I mean, you were basically trained as a classical opera singer, and you always loved acting. I remember you were part of the Dramatic Arts Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York when you were in pre-college, and so even then, you loved performing. You're basically kind of a little bit of a shy person, not so much anymore, but you used to be in your teens. And whenever you were performing, you were playing a role. So you were not shy and you were very outgoing. So people who came up to you, they would not believe
Yeah.
that you are actually a shy person.
It's still
But
true.
it's a little warm up, right?
It's still true.
A little bit, yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, it went 180. Let's put it that way. Um, and it's also great because you also created a role for yourself, which doesn't happen too often if you just accept a role that somebody else wrote. I mean, this was like tailor made for you.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm able to then tailor make it to my own preferences, to my own strengths and weaknesses. That's a
That's
really
right.
unique thing. I mean, I'd never find a role like this exactly. I felt
I
it's
know.
a role I was born to play because I literally wrote it for myself.
Yeah, and let's also introduce that to people that this is not your first rodeo. I mean, this is not your first screenplay. Actually, it definitely is not your first. I think this is like your 10th or 11th. I mean, so far right now you have another 14 to go,
Yep.
but this was definitely not your first one. But I think what happened is the first couple of screenplays that you wrote, I think they were like really huge, big budget, epic movies. And then we were thinking, I don't think we could
And
really
they're going to be made.
make that happen, right? I wish we could, but yeah, unfortunately, we are not trillionaires. But you also, I can hardly wait. I mean, hopefully, it will happen in the future. You also have a big France list epic movie that I hope that one day could be made because it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. But I think you kind of had a certain budget, in mind when you did this screenplay for this movie. I think.
Absolutely. I mean, I wrote it specifically with budget in mind. I mean, like you mentioned, my first few scripts, I didn't worry about any of that. I just wrote and stuff. And then as I refined it more, I was able to think more with budget in mind. And so absolutely, I wrote this
Yeah.
specifically because I knew I was going to be directing in it, writing it, obviously, producing it and acting in it. So I kind of thought in all those different mind. I had the mind of a producer sometimes. I had the mind of the director, whatever's economical to film. So I
And
was
can you also talk a little bit about what other roles did you have? Because you were the casting director, you were the wardrobe director, you were, I mean, like basically every single person that who was picked for this movie, the actors, actresses, the crew, cast, and everybody. It was your choice. Sometimes I helped you a little bit, but it was about 95% your choice. And yeah, it really worked out beautifully.
Yeah, I interviewed every single person on the movie personally on a Zoom or on some form of a video chat. I interviewed everyone, whether it be the cast, the crew, people in front of the camera, behind the camera, everybody. Um,
Who was that director who doesn't like the people to actually memorize line and just have a conversation with them? Doesn't want, yeah,
there's two that come to mind.
really,
I know generally, when you do an audition, you read the lines and everything, and I did do
exactly.
that. I did do that at the very end. But what I would do is I would engage in like a 5 or 10 minute just discussion with whoever I was talking to. I mean, even for the crew, but especially for the actors,
Yeah.
actresses. I would just engage in a discussion and just talk, not necessarily about anything in particular. I just wanted to talk because I feel that it's so much more important to just get a sense of who
Oh,
people are.
absolutely.
And so, for your question, the two people I know who have done that. At least I know Mel Gibson did that, especially for
Oh,
Braveheart,
yes. Now I
directing that.
remember. Yes.
And then the other person who I think generally does that, who doesn't really have people read at all, but just talks to them, is a David Lynch.
Okay, okay, I got you. And that's wonderful because you can get their full personality. I mean, everybody can memorize lines and start fake crying and everything, It's like once you rehearse it to death. But it's so much, you can get so much out of it this way. So I was very happy about that. So that was also one of your roles. And then you had so many more, my God, so many more roles in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, again, basically, it was the two of us were doing so many things at once. It was absolutely insane, and we wouldn't have it any other way because at the end of the day, this is an indie movie. I don't have some big studio executive breathing
No.
down my neck. The artistic choice is all on me. I ask your advice,
Yeah.
but nobody else. And that's the other thing is that I don't really ask people's advice for how something is playing. I have my artistic vision and I go with that, and that's my artistic vision.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And
And I've never cared about feedback. The only person I
I
care
know.
about feedback from is you.
Oh, thank you so much. And that's how it should be with an indie movie because that's your vision. And I remember at one point you were thinking of another person, but then they had different ideas about the role and they wanted to change the script. I mean, come on. When you are like maybe a huge, huge star, maybe even then the director probably a lot of times wouldn't go for
Absolutely.
it.
So I mean, for me, I'm definitely a by the script kind of person.
Yeah,
I don't like things really changed or lines changed. It's
exactly.
the script that I wrote.
And that's how it
I
should
have
be.
it in my mind, and I kind of yeah, I'm more of a by the book person in terms of I like to go by the script, what's in there, and I don't really allow changes at all.
That's it. And one more thing, actually, that maybe people don't know, I'm also the script doctor. That's my other title. I'm the proofreader, basically. That's
Yeah.
what it is, and I love that too. I never knew that. I mean, before you started writing, I never knew how much I would enjoy it, actually, and I really do. It's like I'm really missing it. So you have to start writing more because I'm missing it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll get to work right now, right after we get off this
Good.
call. But I guess why don't we start wrapping it up? It's been so great to talk. So for
Same
everyone out
here.
there, yeah, for everyone out there, My Last Words, it's premiering at the Big Apple Film Festival in Manhattan at Look Dine and Cinemas on West 57th Street. It's going to be on December 10th at 5:30 p.m. It's going to be really an exciting event. I can't wait to share it with you. I can't wait to share this film with the world. Obviously, then the
It
next
will be
episode, yeah,
it will be actually in theater number one. I don't know if you actually said
theater number five,
what am I talking about? Yeah, theater number five.
which is going to be, I believe that's the biggest theater they have there. It's fairly big, which I'm really
Like
happy about.
100, I think it's like 126 seat theater, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So it's going to be on the big screen where it belongs, and in Manhattan, no less, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, who
Exactly.
hear their film in Manhattan? We filmed this in Manhattan and right across the river in Bergen County, New Jersey. So it's really like it's premiering at home.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Absolutely.
so excited about that. So again, December 10th, 5:30. Definitely follow me on all social media, Instagram,
Put it on
TikTok.
your calendar.
Yeah, YouTube, Twitter. We're on all the social media platforms. Follow Christina as well, Christina Kiss. Or definitely check out my website as well, Christina's website as well. Mine is adamkissofficial.com. Mom's is christinakisspianist.com. So, and follow us on all the social media platforms. And I'll give you some final words.
Yes.
What do you want to say to everyone?
Or final words that please come and watch this movie because you're going to be very surprised. It looks fantastic. The cinematography is also great. The whole story is beautiful. It's that's all that I can say. I don't want to give anything away. It's a love drama kind of movie, but it's very special. Not just because I'm your mom, but yeah.
Absolutely. So, thanks so much to everyone for listening. Again, we're Adam Kiss and Christina Kiss, the producers of My Last Words, the feature film coming out soon. Thanks so much, everyone. And that's all, folks.